Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Poyer, one of the counselors at Franklin Academy. In this video, I am going to walk you through how to apply to SUNY schools using the SUNY application. So the SUNY app, what it is one application that you will complete that you can use to apply to several different SUNY campuses. So all of your technical centers, such as Canton, that offered both 2 and 4-year programs, and all of your 4-year campuses like Plattsburgh, Potsdam, Oswego, etc., that have bachelor's degrees and beyond. So this is one application that you'll complete, and then you'll check off which schools you want to apply to, and it will send that to all of them. So you do not have to do separate applications for all the schools that you plan to go to. When to use it. So you are going to use the SUNY app if you plan to apply to only SUNY schools. This is faster and more simple than using the Common App, so we highly recommend using the SUNY app if you just plan to apply to SUNY campuses. If you plan to apply to a combination of private schools and SUNY schools, stop listening to this video, save yourself some time, and go and watch the how to apply with the Common App, because the Common App is what you're going to use if you apply to private schools and SUNY schools. If you're planning on doing both, you're not going to use this app at all. So save yourself some time and stop listening and jump on and watch the how to apply with the Common App video. That's the service that you will use for applying to a college. Okay, so before you begin, you want to give yourself about an hour of time. There's two parts to it. There's the initial application and then the supplemental application if your school requires it. The supplemental will take longer because there's an essay involved and more in-depth questions. But for this initial part, still give yourself about an hour. You might find that you get done quicker than that, but set aside about an hour of quiet time to go through the SUNY app. You want to have your social security number ready. You will need that when you're completing your application. And you also want to get your payment ready. It's $50 per school, so have your credit card or debit card info handy. Unless you qualify for a fee waiver. So if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, you can get a fee waiver from us in the guidance office that will be of no cost to you to apply to up to 10 SUNY campuses. So if you do qualify for free or reduced lunch, shoot us a message. We'll make sure to get that paperwork going, and we'll email it to you. You will have to get a signature from the head of the household and make sure that you meet certain income guidelines. If not, then get your debit or credit card ready because it's $50 per school, and your application won't be processed until you make that payment. All right, so getting started. We have links on the guidance website, or you can just go to suny.edu to get started. So once you get to the SUNY website, it looks like this. This is the home page. You're going to click on Apply in the top right-hand corner. And then you're going to click here to apply now. So the first time you go into it, you're going to have to create an account since you don't have one made already. So go ahead and click Create Your Own Apply SUNY Account now. And this is where you're going to enter your information. So I'm going to autofill some of mine. We'll do a made-up birthday. And they'll want you to do the slashes with a full year. Okay, and we'll have to enter an email address. And what I always tell my students is don't use your Malone School's email address. They do put lots of blocks and filters on them for security reasons. So you'll use your own personal email account. Don't use the one that the school gives to you. And I would say, as a general rule, to use your own personal email in any of your college process, whatever you're doing, like for FAFSA, other websites that you have to use your own personal email account. All right, then you're going to select a security question. You can pick whichever one you would like. And I'll do this. Okay. And then you click Next. All right, then I'll return you back to the login page. And then go ahead and put in the email that you used and your password. Oh, and you gotta write it the right way. Okay. And then when you get in, you're going to see it says start my 2021 Apply SUNY application. So this will be because you're going to school probably in the fall of 2021. This is what you're going to click on to get started. Okay, and you can see that you're in. So I'm going to pretend that I'm a typical high school senior who's applying for college for next fall. So I am a freshman student. I plan to be full time. So full time means 12 credits or more. I'm not an adult learner and I'm not applying for the EOP program. So if you want more information about this, the Educational Opportunity Program is for students that have kind of unique circumstances who might not otherwise be accepted into college. So for example, I'll ask you some future questions, but if you were ever in foster care or if you're a ward of the state or some of the questions that they ask, um, or if you might not meet certain criteria and be accepted based off your transcript, you could apply for EOP. So if this is something that you think you would like some more info on, just shoot your counselor an email and we can help you with that. But for this purpose, I'm going to click no and then do save and continue. And what's nice about this too is you can see up here on the top. So every time I have a green check, that means that that part is saved. So if I get kicked out or if I don't finish for whatever reason, I can log back into my SUNY account and pick up where I left off. So I'm going to fill out my demographic information. This is where you're going to put your social security number. Even though it doesn't have the red asterisk next to it, I definitely would do that. That way, if there's another Rosalind Poyer out there, we're not getting our records mixed up, and it's always better just to put that in. So my birthday, I'm selecting female. If you would like to share more about your gender identity, you could type something in there. I'm not going to, so I'm going to do save and continue. Then I'm going to talk about my family, and we'll say that this is our home address. I live at school, so that's my home address. I do not have a temporary address. All right, you're going to enter your phone number. I'm going to put the school number in. And you can see your email address should have auto-filled. And make sure, again, that you're using your own personal one that's appropriate. Okay, and you can see that I put in my phone number. You can put in your own cell phone number if you'd like to, but I'm just going to skip. I have to answer a few more demographic questions about your citizenship. Yes, you are a New York State resident, and then you're going to put your county. So scroll down and find Franklin County. And do save and continue. Okay, and these are the questions I was talking about before about if you were ever in foster care or if you were an orphan, you would click yes or no to that. And you can see that all of these are optional. So if you're uncomfortable for whatever reason putting this in, you don't have to. The only one that you have to do on this page is the bottom one, asking if you've ever been dismissed or expelled from a college for disciplinary reasons. So all of our students, you're not a transfer student, so no one's been expelled from college yet. So go ahead and click no. And then your family income range. So you have to fill this out if you are trying to get a fee waiver. So if you do qualify for free or reduced lunch, you probably would meet these income guidelines. So this is what you're required to fill this part out. If you're not going for a fee waiver, you can skip that. You don't have to fill that out. You'll just have to answer with whom do you make your permanent home. And I'm going to say that I live with both parents. And then I would put in my parent info. To save time, I'm just going to skip that for right now. It's not required, but you can put that in. And then we'll just save and continue. And then you're going to add family members who have attended or graduated from a SUNY school. So if you have a brother or sister, a mom or dad that have graduated from a SUNY campus, then you can put that in there. And people ask if that includes North Country. Yes, all the community colleges in New York State are still part of the SUNY system, so you could add those in this part as well. I'm going to pretend that I don't have any family members that have attended a SUNY school before, so I'll save and continue. And then this is where you're going to look up Franklin Academy and put that information in there. So they'll do add high school. You can search this way, but again, I'm going to just type in our CEEB code, which is 332980, because that code is just unique to us. So I can see Franklin Academy High School, and I click select. And I will graduate from high school, and I will graduate in just the month and the year, so 6/2021. And some of you are thinking about graduating in January. If you know for sure you definitely are, you can put that in. But if you're kind of on the fence, I know there's some people who are still waiting to hear about sports and other events. I would just put in that this is your graduate in June if you're not 100% sure right now. Did you attend New York State High School for 2 or more years? Yes. And then if you took any dual enrollment courses, which many of you have taken classes from North Country or SUNY Potsdam with us, even Paul Smith's or St. Lawrence, you'll check that off. If you ever taken an AP class, you could put that in there as well. I'm going to say that I took a college course when I was in high school, and then we'll just save and continue. Okay. This is where you're going to put in if you took an SAT or ACT exam. So the senior class this year is under very unique circumstances. So normally you would have already taken them in the spring. We had to cancel the April SAT school day because of COVID. But if you do plan to take the retake in October, you could just put in that you do plan to take it in October. So you would just type in, we'll say 10/2020. And we're not going to be offering the ACT here at FA. If you decide to take it somewhere else and you have a date in mind, you could put it down there. If not, we'll just do save and continue. And this is where we add our campuses. So you can put up to 10 campuses on the SUNY app, and it'll shoot them out to all of them. So I'm going to do add a campus choice. And I plan to go in the fall of 2021. And I want to apply to, let's see here, I want to apply to SUNY Canton. And you can see that they have the different programs. So make sure that you're looking on the side if you're applying for an associate's degree or bachelor's degree. And you can see the format. They have on campus, online, partially online. So just make sure that you're clicking the right one, because you can see several different business administration offerings. So I want to go for engineering science. So I'm going to select that. That's an associate's degree, a 2-year degree, and I can see that that's on campus because I plan to have in-person classes hopefully next fall. And yes, I want to live on campus. I want to live on the dorms. And no, I've never applied. And special campus project, I'm going to leave that open or blank. Then I'll click add campus. So I also want to apply to a different school. I'm going to do the same process. So let's say this time I want to apply to the University of Albany. I can see all the different choices here. So here I think I'm going to do electrical and computer engineering. And then they have some different questions that they're going to ask me if I'm applying for early action, which just means I'll find out sooner if I was accepted. So yes, I would like to know that. Yes, I want to live on campus. No, I haven't previously applied. And do I wish to have my standardized test scores considered part of the process? Yes, I do want my October test scores considered. And then I'll click add campus. So you'll do this as many times for as many schools as you plan to apply to. And then when you're finished putting all the colleges in, you're going to do save and continue. And then you're going to get to the screen right here, and then you're ready to submit your application. So I just click that I agree. and you'll see the $50 charge for each of the schools. So I'll select my payment method. So if I'm paying with a debit or credit card, I would just put this in right there and then fill it out as if I were online shopping. If I'm using a fee waiver, I'm going to click this option right here. And it's just saying that you must meet certain criteria. Oh, and because I left that part off, remember what I was talking about, the family income range is making me go back and do that first. But I left that part off, so pretend that I'm going to pay for it. Then you would continue, do your payment, and then click submit. So that's the first step in the process and how you complete the first part of the SUNY application. It won't be downloaded to the colleges until you pay for it. So if you need to get to this point and save and then come back for a credit card, that's fine, but they're not going to receive your application until it's paid for. Once you do that, it's also going to ask you who your counselor is. So we are already in this system, so you'll see our names in there. So just select who your school counselor is, whether that's Mr. Stover, myself, or Mrs. McGuire, and that will put your name up on our SUNY account. So when we log in, we can see your name there, and that's how we upload your transcript electronically. So it's automatic. So that comes on the next screen once you get to the payment part. And that is basically it. So when you're done with it, if your college requires you, and it won't let me go through because I'm not going to pay $100 to show you this. If your college requires you to do an essay, you'll have to do the supplemental application, which you can see on the home screen. So I'm going to go to Portal Home. And that would show up down in this area under the purple. It's not showing right now because I didn't pay for it. But once you process those applications and put the payment in, so for SUNY Canton, it would show up here, and then it would say next steps. So Canton doesn't require the supplemental, so I'd be all set with that. But SUNY Albany does. So I would have to go in and then do the supplemental part, which requires me to do an essay. And it also requires me to answer some more in-depth questions, asking about any extracurricular activities that I've done in high school, volunteering jobs that you've had. So that part takes a little bit longer. So you're going to want to spend more time on that. But most of the campuses require it, but not all of them do. Like I said, SUNY Canton doesn't. So just be checking to see if they do require the supplemental or not. You'll also have to upload letters of recommendation. So that's something that you will ask a teacher or your counselor for. You want to ask someone that you have a close relationship that can speak to your academic ability. And you want to ask them early as well. So make sure that you're asking for those letters of recommendation. And once you get those, you can forward them to us and we'll scan and upload them onto your SUNY account. And that's how we do that for you through SUNY. So you'll have to request a letter if you want to have your teacher forward it to us, or bring down a hard copy if you're able to. Probably in these times, you probably just forward it to us and we'll upload that to your account for letters of recommendation. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll do a separate video about applying with the Common App. This is just, again, for SUNY schools, for the tech campuses, and for the four-year bachelor programs. If you have any questions, send your counselor an email or give us a call. Thanks.